We're just waiting for my timing screen to spring into life. In fact, if we press the age-old button of refresh, we can see that it's Bradley Pennell and Jack Mabin on the front row. Owen Byatt and Thomas Turner on row 2. Stephen Letts and Gus Lawrence, row 3. Jacob Stilp and Lewis Malin, row 4. Then Richard Morris and Jordan Brown-Nutley. We are off and racing. Here we go into the Bruno Ferrari. S's under the bridge. Do we all get out the other side cleanly? Yes, we do. On to the banking. And a couple of cars going very wide, but 36 drivers go over the bridge through turn number 4. Oh, they're 3 wide and 4 wide coming down the hill. But up front with the pink nose cone on that number 17 kart is Jack Mabin, although Bradley Pennell in kart number 22 is quick to re-establish himself at the front of the grid. And somehow we have got everybody through the first half a lap, 3/4 of a lap cleanly. And it is Pennell and Mabin who lead the field out of the Mike Wilson complex on to the start of lap number 2. Here comes Mabin in the 17 kart. Takes the lead. Moving into 3rd place, that's Thomas Turner in the number 124, the Mark Baines Motorsports driver. Now, I did say that we were going to update you about the Twitter feed, but I'm not quite sure if anybody had time to blink during that lunch break, let alone shove any food down there, Gregory Peck, as there goes Thomas Turner into 2nd place at the expense of Bradley Pennell. In fact, oh, and there's a driver spearing off to the inside, the back there, but somehow managed to save it. So Turner up into 2nd place. Now into P3 comes Owen Byatt in the number 111 kart, that predominantly purple and silver Stevenage sheet metal backed entry. Pennell is dropped to 4th. And then that very garishly liveried, well, it's a bit of everything. It's a bit of green, it's a bit of pink, it's a bit of yellow. That's Lewis Malin in the number 115 kart, privateer driver. Following Gus Lawrence in the number 85, and Lawrence running in 8th place just behind Stephen Letts. Letts in the number 144, a former Kart Masters champion back in 2012. And Letts 2, 4, 6, 7th, and there's the number 144 going through as well. That's Letts behind the number 117 of Jordan Brown-Nutley. We've seen earlier on in OK Senior, but Jack Mabin is certainly not getting away from Thomas Turner. And so Turner, who is currently up into top 4 in the Little Green Man Championship, pushing Mabin under the bridge, and Thomas Turner takes the race lead for the MBM team. And here's the number 22. So Pennell now fighting back after losing a few places. Gus Lawrence sets the fastest lap of the race, and Nicholas Taylor gets a warning flag for the Mick Barrett Racing team. And Jordan Brown-Nutley now looking at the inside of Stephen Letts, just coming into your picture there. There's the number 22 of Bradley Pennell in 3rd place. So it's Byatt now 2nd. Mabin has slipped from 1st to 4th. It's Turner, Byatt, Pennell, Mabin, then Brown-Nutley, Letts, Malin, Lawrence, Charlie Lamb, Jacob Stilp, Brett Ward in 11th place in the number 46 kart. Matthew Graham is 12th. And the number 81 kart of Richard Morris is in 13th place. So Turner completes another lap. We start lap number 5. There, flashing briefly through your screen, the Fullerton kart of, I couldn't quite see who that was. It may have been Henry Laws in the number 98. No, he's on a Cosmic. That was Matthew Graham in the number 70 kart, flashing through your screen. There's the lead group. Now headed by Owen Byatt, but only briefly. Turner comes back at him. Byatt's going to get shuffled wide as Pennell retakes 2nd position. Jonathan Brown in number 27, who, of course, didn't qualify. He had a mechanical issue on the first lap of qualifying and started right at the back, while Brown is making his presence felt as he comes through the field. He's up in the 22nd position, is the Irishman, and he's getting a warning flag for his troubles as Turner heads on to lap number 6. And the front four beginning to pull away from Letts and Brown Nutley, but Brown Nutley with his nose cone fully planted on the rear bumper of Stephen Letts' Litchfield Motorsport number 144 kart. Now we've got a kart off at the exit of this corner. You can see the officials walking to it. The driver is out of the kart, and I think the yellow flags had gone in. But Pennell now retakes the lead from Turner. Turner checks over his shoulder. The driver who was off and out of the race was Harry Gent. So of the 32 starters, we're down to 31 drivers. The Hong Kong-based driver, Moon Yuan, is down in 30th. Rafael Diaz from Mexico is 28th. And now Pennell leads with 4 minutes to go. Under the bridge. Out onto the banking. Mabin, third. And the top 4 down the hill towards the first hairpin. Byatt just eases his nose cone onto the back bumper of Jack Mabin to almost give him a little bit of momentum that he needed to outbreak Bradley Pennell, and it didn't quite work out, but now Byatt moves past him anyway into 3rd position. And Pennell chasing after race leader Thomas Turner. Turner, well, at one point, Turner was going to have a teammate in the form of Jordan Baines of the Baines clan, but Jordan, realizing that a winter spent on a diet of carling and kebabs was not conducive to going quick in a go-kart, and has stepped aside and is concentrating on making Thomas Turner go even faster than usual, and it seems to have worked the trick, because Turner is beginning to stretch away. Pennell, Byatt, Mabin, then Brown Nutley, then Lewis Malin, and Gus Lawrence is the order. Lawrence with the Tony Kart livery and the orange and black crash helmet. Lewis Malin with the, well, it looks like, well, it looks like what Jordan Bain does in the morning after he's drunk 10 pints of carling and had a kebab, to be perfectly honest. Not quite sure what the thinking was there. As now Mabin challenging Byatt for 3rd, going under the bridge, onto the banking. Gus Lawrence thinking to himself, oh, I can't sit behind this cart for too long, so I start to feel a bit queasy. So he's going to have to make his move, and does he? Not this time. Malin hanging firm in 8th place. As Jack Mabin retakes 3rd from Byatt. Brown Nutley moving up into 4th, and Brown Nutley, who was dominant in the early part of the Senior X30 season out in Europe, beginning to find his form again after a bit of an off weekend at Wackersdorf in Germany recently. And Pennell has got the bit between his teeth now. The number 22 on that comp kart chassis, chasing the Tony Kart of Turner under the bridge. We've got a minute to go. So far, Turner hasn't had to defend. There's Gus Lawrence. He finally decides he's had enough of looking at the back bumper of Lewis Malin's kart. He can't stand it anymore. And off he goes into 6th position. Malin back to 7th. Brett Ward is behind them in 8th place for the Evolution Racing team, as 30 seconds to go, and Pennell is moving into position. Well, Turner, he will get to the line before the clock strikes 0. So the next time around, they'll have the last lap board. So we start the penultimate lap, lap number 11. And Pennell using the slipstream to drag up to the back of Thomas Turner's car, but not quite. Turner's very, very strong, going under the bridge, and is able to keep an arm's length away as the field just spreading out around this 1,500 meter circuit. The leaders, well, Turner is not under pressure yet, but we haven't had the last lap board. And Pennell, well, Turner made a little bit of a mistake there. He was a bit late on the brakes. Pennell caught him, and now Turner's got to defend. Mabin round the outside, 3 wide briefly. And, oh, Turner having to defend, and Mabin, great move to take the race lead. And that all stemmed from just Thomas Turner missing his braking point ever so slightly going into the first hairpin. And so it'll be Jack Mabin who will see the last lap board first. There it is. Mabin, Turner, Byatt, Pennell, and Brown Nutley, the top 5, with Lawrence, Malin, Ward, Charlie Lamb, Letts, the top 11, no tail. There's Turner back at the inside of Mabin, and Mabin holds him off on the outside line. They plunge down the hill. Mabin having to defend. Any one of 11 can win this one. Turner to the inside. Are they going to break wide? No, they all stay tight to the inside. Is anyone going to go round the outside and try and pick up a couple of places? Well, there goes, I believe that is Pennell, who has gone round the outside. He gets Byatt, and he gets Turner. That's 2 in one go round the outside, but Mabin still leads. Pennell's got the momentum. Can he get down the inside? Oh, my word. What a couple of corners from Bradley Pennell to go from 4th to 1st. Turner 2nd, Mabin 3rd, Byatt 4th. And I said who was going to have the guts to try go around the outside. It was Pennell, and it worked for him. Great last half a lap, and that is a very well-deserved victory for Bradley Pennell. He should be proud of that, because that was a good last lap. Very sensibly driven, gambled, and it paid off handsomely. Turner finishes 2nd, Mabin is 3rd, Owen Byatt finishes 4th, Gus Lawrence comes home in 5th, then Brett Ward, Lewis Malin, Jordan Brown Nutley, Stephen Letts, the top 10, rounded out by Jacob Stilp, with Jack Dex 11th, then Henry Laws, and Matthew Graham in 13th place, with Richard Morris 14th, and less than 5 seconds separating the top 16. And that is just a taste of things to come. We've got 11 more of those to come, and the next one will be race number 11, Junior X30.